Hello dear friend, and welcome to On This Day SMR with me, Edward Hertz, where we take a look back through history at events which took place on this day. So today is Wednesday, the 3rd of January 2024, and we have 52 historical events going all the way back to the year 69. Starting with the most recent event, which took place last year in 2023, Singapore's Jurong Bird Park permanently closes. 4 years ago, in 2020, Iranian General Qasem Soleimani is killed by an American airstrike near Baghdad International Airport, igniting global concerns of a potential armed conflict. 5 years ago, in 2019, Chang'e 4 makes a first soft landing on the far side of the moon, deploying the Yutu-2 lunar rover. 6 years ago, in 2018, for the first time in history, all 5 major storm surge gates in the Netherlands are closed simultaneously in the wake of a storm. 8 years ago, in 2016, in response to the execution of Nimr al-Nimr, Iran ends its diplomatic relations with Saudi Arabia. 9 years ago, in 2015, Boko Haram militants destroy the entire town of Baga in northeast Nigeria, starting the Baga massacre and killing as many as 2,000 people. 15 years ago, in 2009, the first block of the blockchain of the decentralized payment system Bitcoin, called the Genesis block, is established by the creator of the system, Satoshi Nakamoto. 20 years ago, in 2004, Flash Airlines Flight 604 crashes into the Red Sea, resulting in 148 deaths, making it one of the deadliest aviation accidents in Egyptian history. 22 years ago, in 2002, Israeli-Palestine conflict. Israeli forces seize a Palestinian freighter carrying air in the Red Sea, finding 50 tons of weapons. 25 years ago, in 1999, the Mars Polar Lander is launched by NASA. 30 years ago, in 1994, Baikal Airlines Flight 130 crashes near Mamoni, Irkutsk, Russia, resulting in 125 deaths. 31 years ago, in 1993, in Moscow, Russia, George H.W. Bush and Boris Yeltsin signed the second Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. 32 years ago, in 1992, Commuter Flight 4821 crashes on approach to Adirondack Regional Airport in Saranac Lake, New York, killing 2 people. 34 years ago, in 1990, United States invasion of Panama. Manuel Noriega, former leader of Panama, surrenders to American forces. 37 years ago, in 1987, Varig Flight 797 crashes near Akure in the Ivory Coast, resulting in 50 deaths. 47 years ago, in 1977, Apple Computer is incorporated. 48 years ago, in 1976, the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, adopted by the United Nations General Assembly, comes into force. 62 years ago, in 1962, Pope John the 23rd excommunicates Fidel Castro. 63 years ago, in 1961, after a series of economic retaliations against one another, the United States severs diplomatic relations with Cuba. 63 years ago, in 1961, the SL-1 nuclear reactor near Idaho Falls, Idaho, is destroyed by a steam explosion in the only reactor incident in the United States to cause immediate fatalities. In the same year, a protest by agricultural workers in Baeza de Casenge, Portuguese Angola, turns into a revolt, opening the Angolan War of Independence, the first of the Portuguese colonial wars. And also in 1961, Aeroflight 311 crashes into the forest in Kevlax, Finland, killing 25 people. 65 years ago, in 1959, Alaska is admitted as the 49th US state. 66 years ago, in 1958, the West Indies Federation is formed. 67 years ago, in 1957, the Hamilton Watch Company introduces the first electric watch. 68 years ago, in 1956, a fire damages the top part of the Eiffel Tower. 71 years ago, in 1953, Frances P. Bolton and her son Oliver from Ohio become the first mother and son to serve simultaneously in the US Congress. 75 years ago, in 1949, the Banco Central ng Pilipinas, the central bank of the Philippines, is established. 77 years ago, in 1947, proceedings of the US Congress are televised for the first time. 78 years ago, in 1946, popular Canadian-American jockey George Wolfe suffers a concussion during a freak racing accident. He dies from the injury the following day. The annual George Wolfe Memorial Jockey Award is created to honour him. 8 years ago, in 1944, US flying ace Major Greg Pappy Boyington is shot down in his Vought F-4U Corsair by Captain Masahiro Kawato flying a Mitsubishi A6M0. 91 years ago, in 1933, Minnie D. Craig becomes the first woman elected as Speaker of the North Dakota House of Representatives, the first woman to hold a Speaker position anywhere in the United States. 104 years ago, in 1920, over 640 are killed after a magnitude 6.4 earthquake strikes the Mexican states Puebla and Veracruz. 111 years ago, in 1913, an Atlantic coast storm sets the lowest confirmed barometric pressure reading for a non-tropical system in the continental United States. In the same year, Greece completes its capture of the eastern Aegean island of Chios as the last Ottoman forces on the island surrender. 113 years ago, in 1911, a magnitude 7.7 earthquake destroys the city of Almaty in Russian Turkestan. In the same year, a gun battle in the East End of London leaves 2 dead. It sparked a political row, even over the involvement of then Home Secretary Winston Churchill. 139 years ago, in 1885, the beginning of the Battle of New Bop. 153 years ago, in 1871, in the Battle of Bapaume, an engagement in the Franco-Prussian War, General Louis Faidherbe's forces bring about a Prussian defeat. 154 years ago, in 1870, construction work begins on the Brooklyn Bridge in New York, United States. 156 years ago, in 1868, the Tokugawa shogunate is abolished. Agents of Satsuma and Koshu seize power. 163 years ago, in 1861, Delaware votes not to secede from the United States. 176 years ago, in 1848, Joseph Jenkins Roberts is sworn in as the first president of Liberia. 191 years ago, in 1833, Captain James Onslow in the Clio reasserts British sovereignty over the Falkland Islands. 209 years ago, in 1815, Austria, the United Kingdom, and France form a secret defensive alliance against Prussia and Russia. 247 years ago, in 1777, American General George Washington defeats British General Lord Cornwallis at the Battle of Princeton. 275 years ago, in 1749, Benning Wentworth issues the first of the New Hampshire grants, leading to the establishment of Vermont. In the same year, the first issue of Berlingske, Denmark's oldest continually operating newspaper, is published. 371 years ago, in 1653, by the Kunan Cross Oath, the Eastern Church in India cuts itself off from colonial Portuguese tutelage. 503 years ago, in 1521, Pope Leo X excommunicates Martin Luther in the papal bull De Set Romanum Pontificum. 1,774 years ago, in the year 250, Emperor Decius orders everyone in the Roman Empire, except Jews, to make sacrifices to the Roman gods. 1,955 years ago, in the year 69, the Roman legions on the Rhine refused to declare their allegiance to Galba, instead proclaiming their legate, Aulus Vitellius, as emperor. I'm sure that happened yesterday as well. Okay, and with that, that is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you liked it, please consider giving it a thumbs up and also consider subscribing to the channel for future updates. Thank you again, and I will see you next time.